Welcome to Shawn and Carter Have a Podcast. My name is Shawn.
My name's Alisha.
I'm Carter.
And we are on video.
Jazz hands.
Oh, is that what we do?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Shawn and I do jazz hands on the podcast, but you just can't see it because there's no video.
There's a lot of
It's
things
a
that we do that
first.
you can't see.
Yeah, I mean, like, Shawn, you mentioned, like, you could tell, like, I was looking at something.
Yes.
And I really do try to, like gesture and use my whole body when we're recording the podcast because I think it affects my voice. But
Okay.
so you can hear when I'm gesturing like this, but not that you can see that I'm gesturing.
Now we know.
Yeah.
We know what
when,
those
when I'm
gestures
talking
are.
like this is what I'm doing, okay? Like,
think-
why did they put that shot in there?
I think you two talk with your hands a lot more than I do.
Yes.
Well,
I'm a gestural person.
So if you're listening to this in audio only, and you would actually like to
Yeah.
look at something, we actually have something for you to look at this time. So go to my YouTube channel, shawnvmartin, and look at us.
yes, you can look at us. Actually,
We're like together, just so everybody's clear on
This
that.
is not
it's not
like a
just
hologram?
Video.
CNN was in no way involved in the production of this podcast.
Or South by Southwest.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we together? Because Avengers Assemble.
We were
Yup.
the original Avengers, and we assembled here in Richmond.
Stanley created us.
Yeah. We're fictional characters, actually.
We're playing ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you two were on vacay, and then we just decided,
Yeah.
hey, makes sense to do the Avengers, which we had that whole Marvel movie lead up to this, so it's all been leading to this.
And
has
I'm
been.
glad that we did because it's very obvious they referenced everything that
Yeah,
happened.
pretty much.
Yeah, well,
But
it's-
let's get to let's get some follow up out of the way.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
get something
yes.
like just one thing I gotta get out of the way, which no one will remember, but it's a good movie recommendation. So I just want to put it out there. I mentioned when we were doing the Cabin in the Woods. I think when we described the whole movie, I said, "Oh yeah, and that's a reference to Hellraiser, and that's a reference to Evil Dead," and I said, "Oh, and that scarab is a reference to something. I know what it is."
And all I could come up with was the Mummy. I
Yeah,
was
same
like,
here. That's the
No,
first
not
thing I
the
thought of.
Mummy.
Something more specific.
It was much more specific. It's actually a reference to the movie Kronos, which is one of Guillermo del Toro's earliest films, and it's a Spanish language film available on Netflix Instant. So
Okay.
people should check it
I
out.
have seen The Devil's Backbone, which is another one of his early horror movies.
Yes.
Really good.
Which is excellent.
Very
It
good.
was
I didn't see his newest, the one that he produced.
No, I have not either.
that
what's
one.
it called?
I don't know.
Don't remember.
The Scary Movie.
The Scary Movie.
Right.
Scary Movie.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
There you go.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
No, I've not seen.
All right. Well, we want to keep this one tight, so we're just going to do one random question and then just boom, Avengers all the time.
I voted for the random question.
All right.
I really wanted it
Would
to
you
happen.
like to? Would you like
ask
to introduce?
the random
Ask the random question, Alicia.
Yes, what an honor.
All right. We're all ears.
Our random question of the week, this week, is: are you a morning person or a night person?
And who's this question from?
A person.
It is from Mr.
Mr. Sapling.
Thank you, Mr. Sapling.
Shawn first, go.
Okay. I probably used to be a morning person. Then I went to college and became a night person. And now I became an adult. And sometimes I have to be either or. And it's just not really up
Yeah.
to me. I sometimes I'm busy in the middle of the night and I wish that the rest of the world were up with me. And sometimes I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I gotta turn on a happy face and greet some customers. So I'm a little bit of both.
I'm definitely a morning person. I do sometimes have to work late at night, but I don't enjoy it at all. And I'm like,
I've had a few
"No."
text conversations with you that you're like, I'm gonna have a meeting until 9:45, and I'm just
Yeah, and it's just like, why couldn't we have had this meeting earlier? It's, I would prefer to have a whole bunch of stuff done, or like start my day at 6:45 and be done by 6, and not have the day drag on. Because after 6 or 7, my productivity is just.
yeah.
Hungry, tired Carter.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to work. I would say that I don't really know. When I get to choose, because I do get to make my own schedule on occasion, I always choose to work early.
I don't have that.
I do. Like, my boss is like, get your stuff done, whatever. So when I choose to, I usually start work at 6 o'clock, because be done by 4, which is awesome. But I also really, really love working until 11:30 at night, and it's fun to come home late. And
Is it?
yeah, actually, I like it. So I don't know. I would say when I get to choose, I would be up early to work, but if I had the day off, I would always sleep in. So yeah, I think I'm a night person.
If you've watched
I'm a night person.
if you've watched SVM Play Sims, I've commentated on your sleep schedule because
Well, and there's also the times when I get to work until 11:30 at night and get to be at work at 6 the next day. That's just the best.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
a night
awesome.
person, morning person.
You're just a person.
Yeah. But no, I would say mostly I would choose night. I prefer to be up later and
I think I
later.
used to when I was younger.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I can now, but it's only if I didn't get up early. If I got up early, I fade.
Yeah. I mean, like if I get up like, I have to be at work by 9 and every
that is
day.
ridiculous.
Every day, just
Yeah.
like be there by 9.
Business hours.
I know,
be
that's
there.
so
He's not-
weird.
we work in retail.
Well, like if I can get a day in where like I wake up at 5:30 and I like do a bunch of stuff at home and by 6 or so and I'm at work at 7, I feel like I'm gonna get so much done today.
Yeah.
And if I just have a normal day and then it's like, oh yeah, and you have like 10 more things to do and you're gonna be here until 11:30, I'm just like, never, I can't do this. So, morning person definitely.
Yeah.
But
Thank you for the random question, Ben.
Yay, thanks.
all right, Avengers.
The topic of the hour.
We literally
Just saw the Avengers.
we were at the 3:20 showing at my local movie theater.
What a
and
nice local movie theater, by the way.
Yes,
We
definitely.
don't have real nice options.
That's too
That
bad.
is nice. You just don't want to go there. He doesn't feel like
it's
that
nice,
in
but
20
it also
minutes.
does not have digital projection. It's got 2 screens. Both
has
of our
IMAX,
theaters have 2
which is
digital
cool.
screens. There's something about ever since I saw the first part of Deathly Hallows in digital, if it's in digital, I want to see it in digital because it just looks so much better.
I mean, I think that's really right. Like, if you can get the best, why wouldn't you?
It's shot in digital.
Right.
I want to watch it in digital.
Exactly. Well, and we have something to say about that, actually.
As long as it doesn't have anything to do with 48 frames a second.
Oh,
That's a conversation for another time.
We'll talk about that later, and I actually would I have a feeling that we're not going to see The Hobbit in 48 frames per second. Shawn asked me if the theater that we were going to see the movie in had digital projection. I'm like, oh yeah, I think it does. Let me check. And then, unrelated, 2 things happened about digitally distributed movies that we both saw this week. One of them was like out in the general world, and a whole copy, a press screener.
Yes, it was an early morning. It was in New York. Like a bunch of magazine, newspaper, online critics went to a screening, and they got there and were of the Avengers, and were told that the film had been deleted.
So they had to re-download this film from a server. So and it took the length of the movie. It took 2.5 hours.
The entire length of the film to download, and then they got to watch it.
And then they got to watch it. I mean, they're just gonna have to figure out better ways of doing that. Like locally store the movies on something that can't be deleted.
Have a little archive in the movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like completely crazy to me. Separately, my friends all went and saw the Avengers on Thursday at midnight, and they were treated to the first 20 minutes of the Hunger Games.
How did they let 20 minutes
that's
go
what
by
I'm
is
wondering.
my main
Well,
question.
I don't think they deleted it. What they basically told them, like, yeah,
Oh, they were waiting.
they're like,
stalling.
we know it's the Hunger Games. We know you came here to see the Avengers. We're working on it. You can just watch the Hunger Games for a
Just
little
watch
while.
this for a little bit.
I don't know why they didn't just go.
quiet down.
Well, I don't know why they didn't just go to the pre-roll stuff.
Right.
You know,
20.
text something to 42269.
We love movie trivia.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson killed a shark in what movie?
He was eaten by a shark.
This is a problem that no one's ever seen before outside of digital distribution, because even if you mistakenly got a copy of the Hunger Games when you thought it was the Avengers, they come in like one big giant canister, and the projectionist has to literally cut them up to put them in the reels. They know this is not the Avengers, this is the Hunger Games. And they set the reels up at the beginning of the day, so they would have known. So this is just something where someone double clicks the wrong thing, and they don't know. Oh, the Avengers is over. Oh, I got to open up Finder and get the Avengers. What folder did I put that in?
Oh dear.
So
Where's undelete?
right,
They'll get there.
They'll
Just
get
gotta
there.
iron out the kinks.
They'll get there.
Right.
They'll get there.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
So, I guess we got to talk about the Avengers. So, what'd you think?
Joss Whedon is finally getting all of the credit and attention that I think
Yep.
every nerd thinks that he's deserved for the past 15 years. His name is just all over that movie. Directed by Joss Whedon, story by Joss Whedon and Zach Penn.
Yep.
Screenplay exclusively by Joss Whedon, and then that nice before the post-credit sequence, a Joss Whedon film.
It was pretty beautiful.
It feels like
all over.
It feels like a victory for all of us.
Yeah.
For all us brown
For all
coats.
the fans. Yes.
Well, I mean, what it reminds me of, he didn't take exactly the same path. He took sort of the opposite path. Is we talked about Drag Me to Hell last week. He sort of did an inverse Sam Raimi, where Sam Raimi went all commercial first, so he could establish his cred, and then he did all the really cool stuff that he wanted to do. Joss was like, "No, I'm an artist, and I'm going to do cool stuff," and people are going to say, "No, it's stupid,"
and people are going to cancel it.
And people are going to cancel it over and over and over again. But
Sam
slowly.
Raimi started on TV with Hercules, the show. You guys apparently
Is
didn't
that
know
true?
that?
Is that true?
Yes, the
That
Raimi.
was his start?
Well, I don't know if it was a start, but he did Hercules and Xena, like they were his
That's
thing.
Ivan Raimi. Sam Raimi is a director.
I think that
I
I thought that they were. I'm really confused. There's a Ted as well. I thought they
Well,
were.
yeah, that's his brother.
Okay.
Ted?
Well,
Wait.
I think
Ted
maybe he
Raimi's
was.
his brother that he throws in all of his movies.
Yeah. Now I'm confused.
We're gonna look this
We
up.
need to find this out.
Alicia does know a curious bit.
Yes, he did.
Curious
I'm
amount of
so
knowledge
right.
about Xena and Hercules.
I watched them when I was younger.
He
when
produced
all my-
them.
Okay.
When all my friends were watching TGIF, me and my brothers were watching Hercules and Xena on
On
Friday nights.
UPN or whatever.
Yes, indeed.
So he took a very strange.
Yes, he
path.
did.
Okay.
He started
I'd like
with the
to
Evil
educate
Dead.
you guys on these things.
He did Evil Dead, Dark Man, Evil
Yeah,
Dead
there's a reason I
2,
brought you.
Hercules, Xena, Spider-Man, Drag Me to Hell. That's like I don't even know now.
Well, there's like
Oh, he did The Secret too. I didn't
Robert
know
Rodriguez does like both. Like
Yeah.
he does super commercially successful kids films mostly, and then he'll do like complete niche like things that barely make a profit if they do.
Yeah, totally.
Still want sequel to Sin City. Just waiting.
that. Yeah.
I want a little bit more of that black and white
That's gonna happen.
action.
That's
Yeah?
gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Okay.
I think so. I hope so. All right.
Anyway,
I'm glad I've educated you guys. I'm so happy.
what did you think, Carter?
I agree with you. I think that this is
A recent Joss Whedon convert.
Yeah, I think that this is a great moment for nerds everywhere. At the end of the film, I felt that I probably had my expectations too high, and I walked out feeling a little like, oh, it's over? Like, oh, I guess I was waiting for like one more thing. Maybe the final
I was
ending
like,
is that one more thing.
That was what I needed.
And I'm like, okay, you've completely sold this on me. But I was like, oh, I was like wanting something different, but I still thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I think that this is sort of, if you want to make a summer blockbuster good, here's a way you can do it, and keep all the special effects and keep the frames completely full of explosions and colors, and tell a story and have it be good. Look to Joss Whedon in this film. Don't look to Michael Bay. This is like taking a Michael Bay movie and running it through a Joss Whedon filter.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what
Agreed.
that's what I thought.
We've seen the
Absolutely.
critical success as well as the obvious financial success.
Yeah.
I mean, this is both ways.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is such an easy pitch. Maybe not the Joss Whedon part, but saying we're going to set up 4 hopefully ridiculously successful franchises that are mostly but not completely overlapping, and then have them culminate in one thing and get everyone in the door. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
and
brilliant.
They're clearly they've got like a decade-long plan,
Yeah.
if not more.
Oh,
For sure.
totally. I mean, they can just do this one more time. At least one more time. Go through all the movies and then Avengers 2.
Next cycle.
Yeah. I mean, they set it up with
With that-
with Kobe Smulders, a character who I'm to this second I don't understand why she was in this movie.
I know why.
Okay.
I know why.
Anyway, she set up the Avengers 2. It's like, oh, they're going to go in all their different paths. It's like, yes, they're all going to have a different movie. It's, what will happen if we have another crisis like this? And Nick Fury says, they'll come together. But how? Why? Because they'll have to.
because
They signed a contract.
Because Joss Whedon can't wait to write that movie too. Yeah, my impression, at first I didn't know why she was in the movie.
Coulson.
Yes.
I get that. But she wasn't used in this movie.
There was no.
No,
I
it
was
was
not
not.
expecting the death of Coulson.
Oh God.
I love Coulson, and I did not see that coming.
They made him so you learned his name.
They did
What?
it. This
Phil.
is a very typical Joss Whedon thing.
Yes.
He makes you care about something a whole lot,
Yep.
and then he takes it away from you so that the stakes are really
Oh my
high.
gosh,
So
yeah.
that you don't know who's next, who's going to get killed or
Yep.
dismembered or whatever.
Yeah, incidentally, spoiler alert.
Sorry.
There's gonna
Yeah,
be
I wasn't sure if we were
spoilers.
gonna.
It's going to be all over.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone.
I mean, I hope they end up using her more, but I just felt like I didn't really feel like she was a complete character. And
No,
I bet that I
100%.
bet she probably had more and they just had to cut it because the movie was 2 hours and 20 minutes long already.
That's long enough.
Well, at first I thought that she was like kind of filling in for Hawkeye because
I
he would
thought
have
she was
been.
I thought she was going to be a bad guy.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought like
I
Hawkeye's
thought
just
she
like the
betrayed him.
agent on command who does whatever Coulson wants, and he wasn't around, so I thought
Okay.
that's kind of what the role she filled. Like, yeah, I guess I'll go take care of this. I'll be the one chasing Hawkeye down. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she will in the next cycle. She will be the Coulson character.
Yeah,
She'll
yes,
be,
and once
she'll be
he
the one
died,
who
of
consults all of the Avengers separately, and then when they have to get them all together, she'll call.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
Hopefully she'll be able to play it as ably as I don't
Yeah.
have the movie up. Paul Craig?
I don't know his name.
He was just perfect. He was a
was.
perfect straight guy.
He was very good.
I enjoyed him from his very first appearance in Iron Man. I was like, I really like this guy because he's got just like the slight. He doesn't smile, but you feel like
amused.
behind his face, he's laughing a little bit. He's
Yes,
just a
totally.
little amused by the situation, and
But he
they,
still
they
willing to put
added
up
so
with
much
the
to his
crap Tony
character as it went
Stark.
along, and then
Yep.
rug out from under us.
Clark Gregg. Stabbed right through the
Wow,
chest.
yeah.
Wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that there were some issues just with the plot. There was just so much, and that was like it was difficult to make everything feel as connected as I would have wanted. But he's killed by Loki, so we get that played out through Tony Stark, trying to avenge him
Right.
with Loki. But I also feel like there's a thematic payoff when the Hulk is with Loki in one of my favorite. The Hulk. Okay.
Clearly, our audience's favorite bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
the entire movie.
So people insisted that the main character of this movie was going to be Captain America when it was
Yeah.
clearly
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
I think it was. And the Hulk stole the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stole the show.
he did.
He was. I would say he was comic relief, but it wasn't.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
I think everyone did a little bit of comic relief.
There was a lot of Black Widow.
Like Black Widow did comic relief that I
Yeah.
didn't even.
Agreed.
She's not supposed to be funny, is she?
She had occasional
She had
moments.
Well, her
little
opening-
lines that were really good.
Her whole
Yeah, that
opening
was really great.
was funny.
That was
I'm
so typical.
interrogating this guy.
That was like a Buffy opening.
Yeah.
Classic misdirection. I mean, I knowing what I'm walking into, I knew that it was not what it appeared.
Right.
But most audience members are probably thinking like, "Oh my gosh, she's being held hostage. What's going to happen
I
to
was
Black
like, she can
Widow?"
get out of that in
and
a
I was like,
second.
"She is in control of the
Right.
situation."
I'm
course.
working right now.
Yeah.
I think one thing that surprised me is how much things surprised me. I wasn't expecting a lot of different things. I wasn't expecting the Leviathan-like creatures.
I mean, they teased it in a trailer. But
I must
they
have
didn't-
not paid enough attention to
Yeah,
I did not
agreed.
know that they were coming.
Yeah.
Swimming through the air. That was
Right.
pretty fun.
Yep, they were all right. We just saw a trailer for Battleship before it, and I was like, giant aliens from space, and then there were giant aliens from space.
Giant aliens, parentheses, from space.
That would have been a better title for Battleship. I think.
Right? We were talking about that. I still would be like, oh, giant aliens from space, but maybe I wouldn't have been.
It would be
quite
Plan
so.
10.
Yeah. Was this misdirection or just confusion? I thought that Captain America was supposed to be the sort of.
That's what Joss Whedon said in an
Right?
interview.
I still thought they all shared it quite well.
Well,
and
yeah.
I do not know how you would pick one as like the main character. Everybody had time, except for Jeremy Renner. He was the only Hawkeye was the only one who was significantly not in the movie.
That was one of the other things.
I thought he would
also,
be in the movie more.
Why was
That was something that surprised me. I did not. Nothing gave me an indication in a preview or commercial that he
Right.
was going to spend so much time of the movie on
Working
the
for the
bad
other
side.
as a bad guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the opening was very surprising because I didn't realize it was just gonna go, and it's like, oh, Loki is here,
Yeah.
and he's stolen the thing, and he's got the Fabergé egg of doom, and okay, let's go. Which I was not anticipating that at all. Also, I think I agree with you that it is an ensemble movie, but I really did feel like that Iron Man overshadowed a lot of the other characters, and like he was the one that takes the nuke up into the thing, and he's the
But he learned it from Captain America, who said you could never make the sacrificial moment.
That was the payoff for him. Captain America accusing him, you could never be that guy.
Right, but then he is, and he goes through the transformation, and he's the one who has the classic, everyone standing around him, is he alive, is he dead, that sort of, like, oh, we all know that he's going to be alive. I kind of thought for a second, like, oh, is they really going to kill him? I'm like, no, they're not going to kill him. They got to make movies.
I didn't think that they would kill him, but when he flew into the portal for a moment, I thought he might get stuck over there.
Yeah.
And I thought that they might leave him there for the end of the movie.
I'm glad that they didn't.
Yeah, so...
It's okay that they didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
The kids would be really sad.
Yeah.
So why did they have a big flying battleship that could cloak?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of
I'm wondering if that is directly from the comics or something.
I don't know.
I
thought it was
fortress
super
of some
lame.
kind.
Tell us in the comments if it is. I'm not going to look it up.
I want to also...
We are so uninformed in the Marvel universe.
Yes, if they could also tell us the red face, what the heck that was, I'd be really happy.
So yeah, the first ending introduces what people, I guess, are speculating is a character named Thanos. Am I pronouncing that right? He is another Marvel Universe evil super dude. Yeah, who...
Evil super dude. Got it.
Yeah.
A guy who travels through space and wants to kill us.
Yeah, and I think that one of his thingies is that he... one, he can travel through dimensions at will, so he doesn't need a device to get to Earth.
Cool.
And two, he can also travel through time, so says his Wikipedia, which could be an interesting setup for Iron Man 3.
Okay.
If we have a time
we haven't had any time travel in any of the...
We haven't, although maybe that's
except for Captain America.
I was going to say,
missing
he hopped forward
a bunch
7
of years.
years.
Right, and
no
we
actual
see
time
some
travel.
stuff in the 50s in Iron Man 2, but yeah, there's no literal time travel. So I don't know, maybe we'll see. I think that science fiction can sometimes go off the deep end when we introduce time travel. So
Yeah. You wind up in some crazy plot.
Paradox on paradox.
Yeah. So Loki has between Thor and this movie, he's turned into one of my favorite bad guys of this entire franchise. He's just great because you get that sort of sense of, I think he's playing us, but I think he actually does kind of believe some of this, and he has a realistic motivation for why he's so upset. And what's really cool is, since he and Thor are gods, they can bring this mass destruction, and it makes sense that it's impacting sort of normal everyday superheroes because they're bringing like godlike destruction into the play. Whereas, Battleship, it's like, well, why are these giant evil space aliens involved at all? Like, that doesn't make too much sense to me. So
I like that they are based on gods because they're such archetypes. Like, you can't... And when whoever said it's in his nature to fail, it really is.
Right.
Like, that's what always happens to Loki. He is foiled. So I thought, it's fantastic because, I don't know. I like that. It's his character flaw.
Right.
He will always be. And
he's always deceptive. Like,
yes.
That is Loki's character trait. He's the trickster.
Right. It was great.
I was fooled by his holograms just like the characters were.
Agreed.
Yes.
I didn't know when they were using it and when they weren't.
Yes.
Yeah, neither did Coulson.
Well, mostly Thor. That was
Thor.
hilarious. Will you never learn? That was pretty great.
Right.
Because he won't. Thor won't learn either. He can't change. He's a static. He's a god. This is his archetype. That's who he is.
Right. Well, Thor's already gone through his learning. He doesn't need to learn
Yeah.
anymore. He now knows that humanity is not like a plaything, but other than that... Oh, and they also... I was sort of questioning this move. They also just had literally a screenshot of Natalie Portman in the movie. It's like, oh yeah, we got her and we moved her somewhere safe and that's
So
cool.
she's cool.
So that plot thread is neatly tied up. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So...
At least Gwyneth Paltrow got to be in the
Gwyneth
movie for
Paltrow
a minute.
she got a great scene.
Oh,
Her
That
opening
was
scene
cute.
was great, and that was the start of the tie to Coulson for us because
Right.
she obviously
Right.
really liked him.
Yeah.
And that gave us an insight into his name's Phil.
Yeah. She had a nice little bit of business with it where she like had a glass of champagne and Coulson had the stuff. And
I don't like being handed things.
yeah, so she
Well, I
let's
do.
trade, and then let's trade with you, and then she ends up back with the wine glass or whatever. It was great. It was really, really great.
And Coulson has champagne. It's all good.
Or
wine.
Yeah. The seeding discord in the group, that paid off really well. So I think that they spent a lot of time building up to, the entire group dynamic breaking down, mostly because of Loki. But then seeing them all come back together at the end, I think it was worth the time. But it did make it a 2.5 hour, nearly 2.5 hour movie.
I was so prepared for the battles between them because that was basically all I knew. I was like, They fight, and then they fight with each other.
Right.
And I didn't understand why they were going to be fighting. And I think like every single argument or whatever made perfect sense. Like nothing felt forced. It wasn't really always egos. It was like, I think that this is the best course of action, and someone else was like, no, this is the best course of action.
Right. Well, I mean, that was the danger of the initiative is. And why like the council didn't want to do it and Nick Fury went rogue. I think they realized that no, you can't get this group of people together. They'll just fight.
They won't agree on
and they won't agree on anything. Let's just make super weapons from the Tesseract or whatever that we can control, and we're emotionless people who are willing to blow
Drop
up Midtown.
a nuke on Manhattan.
Whoa.
Like that was super questionable. But I mean, if they're gonna bring all of the armies of Lizard Doom onto the world, I guess you got to do what you got to do. But
there was
But would it really have destroyed? I'm really confused though, because it was a barrier of solid energy. So would it even have been the Tesseract was protected?
Portal?
Yeah,
right.
Would it have been closed with a nuke? They don't even know that.
I mean, it would have destroyed the area, so no more people would have died after that.
Right, but if it didn't close the portal, they still would have kept.
They would have kept coming in.
Yeah, maybe they didn't clearly think that through.
They didn't.
They just went back to their old mindset of like, well, let's just nuke it.
Done.
Well, it wasn't the Avengers deciding that. It was the people who didn't understand what was going on.
Of course.
I liked getting to see Nick Fury fight.
Yes, me too.
We haven't gotten to see him
really
fight.
excited.
Nick Fury, the actual character, this is like one of the only comic book things that I know, is supposed to be with Captain America. Like he's his age in the 40s.
Okay.
He's given the same super serum, and he is like eternally young. And he's a super soldier. And in this movie, we finally get to see him doing a little super soldiering and kicking some butt and shooting people.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. I didn't realize he was super strong.
Yeah, he actually, in the Captain America movie, that team of people that Captain America ends up leading, that is the team that Nick Fury leads in the comic books. I saw a lot of fallout about Captain America's shield, by the way. I saw several tweets about Captain America's shield is not a boomerang.
Oh, because it comes back frequently.
I think he's just smart enough to understand, like, if I hit that and then that and that, and it'll bounce back to me.
There were several times when it didn't.
Yeah, there were several times he was fighting without it.
Yeah. So something I didn't understand, maybe I just didn't think it through clearly. What Dr. Banner. Yeah.
Dr. Horrible?
Dr. Horrible. He says, I've got a secret for how I can be in control. And then his explanation is, I'm angry all the time. It's like, but
wait, what?
When you get angry, you turn into the Hulk. What does that mean?
So
you're angry all the time.
He's constantly controlling it?
Like, you're angry all the time, and then you get super angry and you turn into the Hulk? I didn't quite understand what they were going for there.
Yeah.
Because they don't... It can't be that he's always in control of Hulk, because they showed him rampaging through the battleship, just like completely out of control. So I was sort of confused by that.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that explanation too. Maybe
The
it's like the difference between feeling resentment all the time and actually being like
he's
angry.
simmering. He has to get to a raging boil.
Yeah.
And
maybe if he's a little bit angry all the time, it doesn't get out of control because he's constantly feeling a little bit of anger, so it doesn't bottle up.
It's like you have a little tiny bit of poison all the time, so
you build up the resistance.
so that you can poison both of the cups and the other person will die and you'll live.
Exactly.
That's the best explanation I can think of right now.
Pretty much.
But they also kind of indicated, maybe this was they just wanted to do it this way, that he was a bit more in control of himself at the end. Mm-hmm. That he was much more fighting with the Avengers and not just, even though his direction was to smash.
Smash. I loved the way he looked.
He looked very good.
The way they made him look like Mark Ruffalo was really good.
Yes.
This is the best Hulk I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Bruce Banner's mannerisms are great. Like, he seems like he doesn't look people in the eye a lot, and he's kind of like he seems kind of awkward in his clothes and stuff.
Yeah, totally. And now he's like best friends with Tony Stark. I wonder if they're going to continue that in Iron Man.
That.
Because they drove off together at the end of the movie.
They did into the sunset.
They're the smart guys.
Yeah.
I've said that Tony Stark's superpower is just that he's the smartest man in the planet, and I love getting to see him like totally own that when Kobe whatever was like, when did you become an expert on blah, blah, blah? And he's like, last night. I read everything I needed to know. Now I'm an expert.
He had some of the best one-liners too,
Oh,
Tony.
yeah.
As he
I would
always
imagine
does.
that a lot of them were improvised.
Probably.
I'm just feeling it.
Your, Dr. Banner, your paper on, the inverse negative proportion of electrons was inspired. Also, I think it's pretty cool how you sometimes turn into a big green guy and smash things.
That's definitely a Joss Whedon line. The Point Break thing, that might have been Robert Downey.
When
No one knows about it.
When he pulls Renner up, cinch in Legolas.
Yes.
Like, awesome. Totally wrong. So I really, really enjoyed the movie. I think that I had just wildly unrealistic expectations for how amazing it would be, and I kind of missed how good it was. It's just like, this was a great movie, and a lot of fun. And
Solid on so many different levels.
Yes, and don't see it in 3D.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just don't do it, kids.
Not worth it.
Don't do it, kids.
We saw it in 2D, and I would not change it. If I would go back, I'm going to see it in 2D again.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Makes me want to watch an Iron Man movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought that the way the plot was structured was very similar to the two Iron Man movies.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I really like how movies like that play out.
Yeah, it was executive produced by John Favreau,
Favreau?
which I didn't, he'd been like tweeting, I follow him on Twitter, and I'd seen him tweeting stuff about it, and I was like, he just cares because it's kind of his franchise. But no, he's got his money in there.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned, if you wanted to have a final thought on this, there were a lot of connections to Serenity.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers beware. I won't mention specifics, but he's typical for killing someone that you care about. Serenity, he kills a character that's a main freaking character. You love this person, and he takes him away. And
It hurts. It does.
I don't think there was a single fan of Firefly who was not surprised by the death of this character. And what was the other thing? There was some other...
There were actors that I saw that
There
were
were a
Joss
couple-
Whedon that I was really excited to see.
when Cap started talking to the two New York cops,
They were both Whedon actors.
one of them was in Dollhouse, among maybe other things. And the other one, I don't remember which thing he originated in, but he's definitely one of the movers in Dr. Horrible.
Oh, okay.
There are two movers that both have lines, and one of them is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just uses them all.
Yeah.
Sort of like Scorsese and DiCaprio, but with sort of less
With
central
extras.
characters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is it time for the big reveal?
Yeah.
For our project?
Our next project. Now that we've
Do tell,
wrapped up our
gentlemen.
little Joss Whedon section, diversion.
I'm really excited for this project.
This is we did Harry Potter, and that seemed very fitting of
Yeah.
the nature of our podcast, but this is clearly a topic that we needed to address at some point.
Yeah, and that
Close to your hearts.
yes, and that topic is of course Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Ah.
The one and only.
I mean, I remember very distinctly as like a 5-year-old having watched Star Wars 15 or 20 times and not knowing that there had been 2 more movies. And then someone introducing me, oh, there's this other one, Empire Strikes Back, and just going, there's a new Star Wars movie? And they're like, no, it's not really new. It came out like a little bit after that. You just haven't seen it. I'm like, we must watch this movie now.
Right now.
I can imagine 6-year-old Carter talking like that.
We must watch this movie now.
I think probably my first viewing of all 3 films was a weekend TBS Superstation or whatever Superstation.
Yeah.
I
That
do.
used to be a channel. They would on a weekend, they'd do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Star Wars, Empire, Jedi. Yeah. And I remember watching chopped up versions. Mm-hmm. And they weren't special edition, but I remember seeing special edition when they came out. I saw them in theaters. And of course I saw the prequels when they came out in theaters.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
So how are you going to do it, guys?
Well, that's an interesting
What's the
question.
plan?
So there's 2 schools of thought, generally. You
Right.
do it in episodic order, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you do it in chronological order, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Well, we rejected both of those. And we didn't, this is not our own unique idea. We just like this idea.
This will, of course, be in the link dump. I found this fascinating article about another way to watch Star Wars that makes a lot of sense. And specifically, it's called Machete Order.
Machete.
It involves chopping out Episode 1. That is
Aces. Love it already.
That is the most critical thing of this. Episode 1, say what you will about its good things, but it's got a lot of stuff that if you take it out, you don't miss it.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about this when we do episode 2, but we'll, hey, here's all these things that are completely different between episode 1 and episode 2. Why did we even need to get introduced to these ideas?
Characters that are never mentioned again.
Yeah,
and...
ideas, yeah. So we're not going to do episode 1, and the order, you want to describe?
The viewing order.
The viewing order?
The second most important part is that you start with 4. You start with Star Wars. Start with A New Hope.
Should begin.
You want to get the start of Luke's story and the setup for the ultimate battle of good and evil. You watch Empire, and Empire is probably most people, Star Wars fans' favorite movie, typically, because it's got this incredible arc, and it ends on such a sad, kind of mysterious note, like you don't know where the series might go from here. Then, you don't watch Jedi, you go to episode 2 and episode 3. And you get the backstory of Anakin Skywalker. You get a direction of where Luke and Leia come into the picture, and maybe a little bit of bad acting. Then you go back to Return of the Jedi and catch up on all the characters and get a nice, satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, you end with a bang and not a whimper. And I don't know. I have a feeling. I have strong positive feelings toward Return of the Jedi, which I think some Star Wars fans.
I do too. I do too.
But, so I really, really like Return of the Jedi. I think that I'll like it even more after we had spent, 2 weeks doing episode 2 and then episode 3.
Yeah.
So if you want to get started on this, watch Star Wars. And if you don't want to do this, you should probably just watch Star Wars because it's an awesome movie.
Because it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, and it's awesome. So
special edition or it doesn't really matter. We might talk a little bit about like differences, but it's not related to the story, really.
Yes.
It's mostly just cosmetic changes.
Yes. So that's your homework. Watch Star Wars. We're going to do that, and then we'll talk about it at length.
Should we do that Star Wars 15-second whatever that thing was? Remember we talked about that?
Star Wars 15 second. No.
The Star Wars fan movie.
Oh. We'll think about that.
Okay. I'll include in the link dump. This was featured on 5 Things months ago. The fan-made version of Star Wars that everyone got a 15-second hunk and put it together.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it in its
intense.
entirety. I've watched little pieces of it, and it's alternately really awesome what people have done, and then really goofy what people have done. But basically, they keep the story intact, don't change the lines, just maybe little jokes and stuff in the background. Weird, like, Lego animations and stuff.
Well, we'll see. We may have to have maybe a special episode where we include lots of related things to Star Wars and talk about all that stuff.
This is a good idea.
I know we talked about, we got to do the Family Guy, we got to do the Robot Chicken ones. So maybe if we all clump that together into one.
The creations of the best fans.
Yeah, maybe we'll just put all that together in another episode, and then at the end of this arc, we'll do another movie project.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about
but maybe
it earlier.
not this kind of movie project.
Probably not this type of movie project, no.
This is an infrequent thing. Final thoughts?
Great movie!
Aces, I loved it.
I keep saying I'm going to go back to see Cabin in the Woods, but I might have to go back and see this first.
Double feature.
Double feature. Double Joss.
There you go.
Great. Double Chris Hemsworth.
Double...
I'm in for that.
All right. Talk at a normal level.
Yeah, talking like we're talking on the podcast.
I would be talking like this.
I also have something to add.
I'll probably occasionally get louder because I do that.
I have a complaint about something.
I'm going to laugh at your complaint.
I'm probably going to giggle.
It's kind of nitpicky.
Well, okay.
Sure.
That will likely be fine.
All right.
Do you know
It's cozy.
Never mind. Answer my own question.
There's a girl at work who has about the same vision as mine. She tried on the glasses. They're like perfect. And she's like, I just don't need them. I'm like, but it's so clear when you wear them. How can you not want that? The world is just blurry. It's not like I can't see, but when you want it to be, do you wear things? No. Fine, I have good vision.
No, I don't. My body is breaking down in other ways.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's just
Game
just run down real quick. So I am going to do that little bit of follow-up. I'm just going to plop it in there because I'll go crazy if I don't. That Chronos thing.
Okay.
And then I'm sure we'll talk about, like, hey, we're recording a video this time. I have a note, but...
We have to mention, if you're not watching, if you're listening to this,
Right.
You could watch it.
Right. The random question is morning or night people. Talk about the Avengers, Star Wars, Machete.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I've never seen Machete.
Machete. I've seen the trailer and what you call it.
The original Machete.
The original. Yeah, I've seen the original. Not this corporate Hollywood.
The spin-off.
Can I keep water in the shot?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will be offended.
Just take a sip. Okay.
Alright. Want to try this thing?
Yeah, how do you want to start?
I usually start with Welcome to Shawn and Carter podcast.
Yeah. Do you want to do like same way?
Yeah.
All right. Ready when you are.
Okay. I'm, by the way, for the most, I guess I can go. For the most part, I wouldn't look at the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's just look at each other. I'm going to look at it when we start, but then I'm just going to
Sure.
look at you.
Do it. Do it.
Look at your ugly face.
Well, if you're going to start from that shot.
Oh,
do you
that
want
would be
to-
fun.
Well, it just looks like it's a video of you two. And
Yeah.
then, do you want to like switch up the order?
Okay.
The name order.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So I'll say, my name is Shawn, and then you'll say, my name is Alisha.
Yeah.
And then we'll cut to that camera.
There you go.
Can do.
When you say, sorry, this is it's the first like 10 seconds.
I
It's
know.
important. When you say, I'm Carter, let's all look at that camera. And then we won't look at the cameras
I'm
anymore.
gonna wait.
Okay. Sounds good.
Decided.
All right.
Yep.
That's my hair look okay.
Super.
That's great.
That's my
All
question.
right.
Welcome to Shawn and Carter Have a Podcast. My name is Shawn.
My name's Alisha.
And I'm Carter.
And we are on video.
Jazz hands.
Oh, is that what we do?
Yes.
Okay.
I forgot
A
about
little
that.
indie movie.
It was shot in 12 days.
Yeah. Okay.
40 minutes.
Yes! Ah, love
Those
it.
are good.
Hopefully this recorded as the screen.
It's light is green.
Light is
Light's
on.
green, so I think
That's
that's
why I was
good.
watching. Alright, checking in.
Hi.
42.
Bye.